How's it going, guys? My name's Parallax Abstraction, and this is the Geek Bravado Ramble. It is Monday, October 27th, 2014, and I am recording this at about 11:30 a.m. And, well, this is my little sort of post-mortem thing that I do every year for Extra Life. The event took place this past Saturday, and I just like to talk about how it went and the awesome things that happened, and just talk about the experience and maybe a couple of things that can be improved. So I'm going to do that. So I'd hoped to record this video yesterday, but I woke up with a pretty bad headache that didn't abate until late in the day yesterday, and I went, oh, if I do this, I'm going to look cranky and I'm going to miss things and everything else. So I'm doing this Monday morning. I'm feeling a bit better now. I had a really good sleep last night, and yeah, I think one more and I'll be good. But you know, still gotta fill up on the right stuff. So cheers. So how did it go this year? Well, first things first, I got two pieces of important housekeeping here. So number one, how much have we raised? Well, as of this recording, the unofficial total that we have raised for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario is, virtual drum roll, $1,368. Yeah, that's a lot of money, man. Whew. So, it went pretty well this year. A lot of stops got pulled out at the end, and well, I'm gonna get to the people who really contributed to that later. But yeah, we raised a good amount of money, and I am very happy to say this is the second piece of housekeeping that we have crossed the threshold, the $1,000 stretch goal threshold for me to have to play Outlast in one sitting. God's help me, why do I do this to myself? I know why, it's for sick kids, but oh, Lord. Okay, so yes, we crossed the $1,000 threshold, so that means I have to play through that game on live stream in one sitting. And in the past, I've had a lot of problems with scheduling these follow-up shows. It's taken way too long for them to happen. No more, damn it. So I'm very happy to say that because I'm off this week, it gives me a lot of opportunity to make sure I get it all set up to go. So, barring any unforeseen circumstances, I always got to have an out there, I will be live streaming Outlast in one sitting this Saturday, November 1st, starting at noon Eastern Time on the usual location, twitch.tv/pxabstraction. It's going to be something else, man. As I understand it, Outlast is terrifying and relies much more on frequent jump scares, which are the worst kind of things for me. So it's going to be, it's going to be funny. I am also going to be, thankfully, Open Broadcaster, the software I use to stream, has updated something that allows me to record it at the same time. So I will be recording the whole playthrough, chopping it up into smaller segments and putting it on my YouTube channel as a Let's Play. I don't know when I'm going to have time to do that because I'm doing this at the end of my vacation, not the beginning of it. So, but I will be working on that probably at my lunch hours and stuff at work. And I hope it won't take too long to get that up. So if you can't tune in on Saturday, you will be able to watch me play it again later if you want. Now, one other thing that's really important here, we are only $132 away at time of recording from hitting my second mini stretch goal, which is to add in the Whistleblower DLC for Outlast. This DLC is apparently even more scary and more disturbing than the base game, and the commitment that I made was that if we hit the $1,500 stretch goal, that I would do that on the same live stream. So I would play the base game of Outlast, finish it, and roll right into Whistleblower and finish that. Unlike in the past when I did games like Amnesia: The Dark Descent, Amnesia is fairly long and has a lot of downtime. From what I have been told, Outlast is fairly short. It's only about 5 hours. The DLC is only about 2 hours. And it's very linear and much more fast-paced. You can't really get lost in it, I guess. So it's going to be a much tighter experience this year. So doing the DLC at the same time will be easily attainable. So you can keep donating to Extra Life till the end of the year. So I'm putting a call out there. If you have a few bucks to spare, or you know anyone who does, please, if you can go to extralife.pxa.ca and put in just a few extra dollars. I know we can raise $132 in 7 days. That's nothing. Well, it's less than 7 days, I guess, but I know we can do that. And my grand total so far is running a little bit under last year's. If we can get to 1,500, it will eclipse last year's, which would be amazing for the cause and just me personally. This is an event I take a great amount of personal pride in, and it would really make me happy to be able to cross last year's total. So if anyone is able to do that, I would really appreciate it. And it's going to be, believe me, tune in and watch. This is going to be hilarious for the people watching. Oh God, that game is going to ruin me. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm likely going to be playing the PS4 edition because, well, it was a PS Plus game, and so I don't have to buy it fully. I would have to buy the DLC. And you know what? If I have to suffer through this, I'm going to get some trophies for it, because why the hell not? So that's probably where I'm going to play it, which will look fine. So please, if you can help with that, please do. That would mean a great deal. So yeah, the day itself went really well, I think. It was a little different this year. The way the progression usually goes for me is I tend to start to really crash out between about 1 and 6 a.m., and that's really where the slog is. And then I get sort of a second wind in the last 3 hours that makes it easy. This year, not so much. I was actually doing fine in that 1 to 6 window, and right around 6 is when I started to crash. Throughout most of that time, I was actually playing Forza Horizon 2, and I was probably driving like I was drunk because, I was literally like doing this while I was trying to do races, and I was actually getting really frustrated because I thought the game was too hard, and I was like, no, you're falling asleep and driving like an idiot. So that was pretty funny. The last half hour or so when I was playing Resogun, that game kind of amped me up because of its visuals and its very punchy score, so that helped a lot actually, and made it a lot easier, so that was cool. We played a whole bunch of different stuff. The theme this year I didn't have a theme. In the past, I tried to frame the day around certain things. This year, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to play whatever I want. I had literally every console from the current generation and last generation at my desk, as well as my PC, so I had pick of the litter. I could play whatever I wanted. I played something from every platform during the course of the day, and it was great. Just being able to say, I have some stuff I'd like to look at, but I'm not going to force myself to. I can go between whatever I like, was great. That was the way to do it. I had a lot of fun doing that. A lot of variety, made things a lot easier to do, and I really enjoyed it. I got to play some new stuff. I cracked open Bayonetta 2, which actually I was so tired when we played that, I actually literally don't remember anything I did in that game. Which is kind of interesting. I wanted to play through Bayonetta 1 again, which you actually get in the package with the Wii U version, before I started the second one. And it's kind of good that I'll be able to start the second one over again and basically be experiencing it fresh, because I don't remember anything. And I mean, that game is crazy. It's kind of hard to remember to begin with, but it's basically, I'm blacked out on it. So that should be pretty interesting. I did that. I finally beat Infamous Festival of Blood on the PS3, which was actually a lot of fun. It's like a weird Halloween spin-off of Infamous 2. And it's cool. It's actually really good. I liked it a lot. And an interesting thing, a guy who apparently speed runs that game actually found my stream and came in and went, hey, I did this, and he's doing it for Awesome Games Done Quick this year, which I hope to watch a lot of. And he came in and chatted with me for a little while, which was pretty cool. So I had a lot of fun with that. I played a bunch of Forza Horizon 2. I bought an Xbox One last week just before the stream. I cracked that open for the first time. That is a damn fun game, man. I'm going to be playing a lot of that. That definitely justified my my purchase of it. Sorry, just answering something here for somebody. That definitely justified my purchase of the Xbox One, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, we actually played some League of Legends in the morning. I've never played League before in my life. I created an account the night before, but Wesley from Gamers with Jobs and the Ramblecast and a few of us played some AI bot matches. It was actually pretty fun. I've played a bunch of Dota 2 with people. I just don't like MOBAs generally, and to be fair, I don't think I could ever play League against real people. But I enjoyed that. That was actually really cool, and I see the appeal of League, and Wes was explaining some of the differences between League and Dota, which I didn't really know, and it's interesting. I liked it. It was that was fun. We ended up playing a whole pile of Warframe, which, this is funny. So last year during Extra Life, my buddy Chris and I, who you've seen on All Together Now of the Dawn of War 2 series, he and I decided to fire Warframe up. And I'd played a little bit of it, not much. He hadn't played any of it. and it was still in beta at this point. And we were screwing around and having a lot of fun, and I tweeted at the official Warframe account and said, hey, we're playing your game over here, can we get a retweet? And a guy who I can only describe as a hardcore Warframe superfan found us and came into the stream, came on Skype, and actually toured us through a bunch of the high-level content and stuff. It was crazy. It was so much fun. And I've been meaning to go back to it because I really like the fact, like, it's a free-to-play game that is focused around co-op and, like, doing crazy parkour ninja stuff. And I was like, it's really fun. I want to play more of it. And then I never did. Too many games came about, and it kept getting shoved to the back of the pile. I've never uninstalled it. In fact, I updated it a few times, but I never ended up playing it. Well, we decided to get back into it this year. Me, Chris, and my friend Andrew, also known as Keymaster, we'll get to him shortly, fired it up. Keymaster had never played it. Whoa, that game has changed, man. Holy crap. So it's in full release now. It barely resembles the original game. There's tons of new environments. There's a storyline now that was never really there before. They've completely redone the UI, and oh my god, that game's UI is just beautiful. It's one of the coolest looking UIs I've ever seen, and the sound design is incredible now. It's even better than it was before. We had a lot of fun. We decided, let's just screw around with this for a while and see. I can't remember, but I think we played that for close to 4 hours, and we were just laughing our heads off the whole time. We had a great time. I'd love to be able to make a regular game night out of that with some people, because I really like that. And maybe we could even do some all-together now content of it. Maybe, I don't know. It was a little weird, unfortunately. Chris and I, the game remembered our old accounts and all of our play stats, but it didn't, because there was no story when we last played. It got confused about where we were. So, like, Chris wasn't getting any of the story briefings and content and stuff. Like, when we would select a mission, he wasn't seeing any of that. And I did the prologue mission where you're supposed to pick a class, but it didn't retain that class. It just loaded in my old character, which was really strange. So, I mean, clearly it's because we didn't play the game between beta and final, which I'm sure we probably should have done. But that was a little strange. But it was cool, and I really like it. I highly recommend checking that game out. So, yeah, Andrew, my buddy Dan, also known as Styles XP, who you've also heard on the channel before, and I wanted as well to try to finish up my Dark Souls playthrough. This is Dark Souls 1. I have not touched the game since I played it for 24 hours for Extra Life 2 years ago. But I still have that save, and I wanted to actually try to beat the game, and we were going to try to do that. Unfortunately, it didn't go very well. There's a mod that you can run with the game that prioritizes the summoning matchmaking to your Games for Windows Live friends. And for whatever reason, only on my system, if that mod is installed, the game will not sign in to Games for Windows Live. I don't know why. I saw lots of people having the problem. Nobody had a solution that worked. So we ended up not being able to do that, which was a bummer. That game is actually transitioning to Steamworks this month, and people are going to be allowed to keep all their stuff. So maybe we'll do it after that. But the cool thing is, Styles and I, over the course of quite a while, co-opted Dark Souls 2 together. And we both have the DLC, and we've been beating our heads against the first DLC for a while. We were having a lot of trouble getting through it, and we hadn't played for quite some time, and we decided, hey, let's jump in there instead. And we ended up finishing it, the first DLC in my game. Styles sadly had to bail right before the end, but Keymaster and I ended up finishing it, which was really cool. It's taken me quite a while to get through that. And we're going to try to do the other two at some point as well. I'd really like to. That was a lot of fun, and it was really fun to get through that. That last boss in that first DLC, damn, man, that thing's a bugger. So that was really cool, and we had fun with that. I didn't get to attack some of the stuff I'd hoped to. I didn't start XCOM, which I was going to do. I do still have that on my pile goal to beat by the end of the year. I may stream it, I may not. I haven't decided yet. But I'm going to work on that, which was really cool. I played a couple of shmups, which I wanted to do. Not as many as I wanted. I still have a Kai Katana for the 360 and the Bloody Shrink Wrap. I really need to crack that out. But I didn't get to play that. I did play some Radiant Silvergun, which is still one of the best shmups ever made. But man, it will kick your ass. That game is really tough. Played a bunch of Resogun, which I love and did really, really well at. That was pretty cool. I like that. And it was just nice to be able to sort of flip flip between whatever I wanted and move around and do different things. I really, really like that. And I think that's how I'm going to do things in the future. And we also only did the one stretch goal this year, which we've hit the base part of. And if we can hit the second part, will be really cool. Skipped out on the bad game this year because that's just no fun for anybody, really. So that was cool. I'm saying cool a lot. Sorry, I'm still kind of tired. Yeah, so there's a few shout-outs I need to give here. So the first one I am going to give is to Keymaster. Andrew, you are a crazy man. So Andrew found me originally. We met during my 2012 stream of Dark Souls. That's how I never talked to the dude before, and that's how I found him. And we've become friends since then. He's done a bunch of All Together Now content with us, and a bunch of other things like that. And he's a really good guy. And he said he was going to watch on the weekend, and I'm like, okay, cool. So what does he do? He comes on and he says, all right, I've got my setup ready to watch you for the 24 hours. I'm like, what do you mean for the 24 hours? He's like, you're going to watch part of it or whatever? No, this crazy dude stayed and watched the whole damn thing. All of it. And he wasn't participating. He wasn't doing Extra Life. He just decided, I'm going to hang around in Parallax's stream for the whole 24 bloody hours, and he totally did it. You're an insane man. But that was really awesome. Having someone hanging around the whole time who I could talk to was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate that, man. That meant a lot. It really did. And there's a pretty funny bit. Unfortunately, I didn't record it. Maybe I can pull it out of Twitch. We'll see. Where I was playing Forza, and we were just sitting on Skype. And I was playing Forza, and the poor guy, probably because Forza's because of the droning noise of the cars and stuff, which is probably why I got tired too, he actually nodded off on Skype. And there was a few minutes where you can hear him snoring. On the other side, and people in my Twitch chat are like, why is there snoring going on? What's happening? And I was like, okay, it got the better of him, and I disconnected the call, and then he comes on in all caps in the chat, and he's like, damn it, I was so close. We were so close to the thing, and I fell asleep. It got the better of me. And he kind of felt bad about it. And I'm like, dude, you're not actually doing this. I can imagine this is harder to watch even than it is to do. So, dude, seriously, don't feel bad. That you hung out for the whole 24 hours was madness enough. You did your bit and then some. You don't need to feel bad. But that gave me a really good laugh that I needed at that point. So, but thank you for hanging out. It means a lot to have someone around like that the whole time, and it's really, really nice. And of course, this is the big thing that I want to give a shout out to is my retail partners and clients who agreed to help out with Extra Life this year. A few of these guys agreed to put coin jars out, and 2 of them agreed to do a different type of contribution. So I'm going to give them all a shout out here right now. These people are amazing, and it really, really warms my heart to see what they did. So I promoted these guys a little bit in the original launch video for the campaign, but so I put coin collection jars out at Ivan's European Deli in Stittsville Carp Road Physiotherapy, and the Cake Shop, which is a specialty bakery in the Westboro part of Ottawa. And yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for doing that. We didn't get much from the physio place because it didn't occur to me until I went to pick the jar up that nobody pays with cash who goes there. Everybody pays with plastic. So that was maybe not the most well-advised idea, but they agreed to do it anyway, and that's really what matters. So thank you guys for that. That helps out a lot. The Cake Shop, I guess people mostly pay with plastic there too, as it turns out, but they raised about $20 in various coins in that, which is fantastic. Every little bit helps, and again, they agreed to do it. That really means a lot. Thank you guys for that. And then Ivan's, holy crap, I guess a lot of people do pay with cash there, because I went to pick the jar up at Ivan's, and there was a ton of bills in there, including several 20s, which I was like, holy crap, I can't wait to see how much this is, and it was well over $100. That's amazing. I mean, thank you, Ivans, obviously, for putting that out. You guys are fantastic, and a couple of the guys there were really interested in what I was doing and wanted to hear about it and stuff, which was neat. But holy geez, we live in the Stittsville part of Ottawa, and my girlfriend and I have really loved this area since we moved out here. Stittsville, many years ago, before Ottawa sprawled out a fair bit, used to be basically its own little small town, and it had a small town feel. And even though Ottawa has encroached to the point where it basically butts right up against another suburb now, a lot of people out here still have that mentality. They like to support local people, local businesses. They like to do things in the community, and that was very clearly the case here. You know, I mentioned on my little blurb on the jar at Ivan's that I was a Stittsville resident doing this, and people clearly stepped up for that reason. I really love this area, and I love the people here, and I can't thank everybody enough who stepped up and contributed to that. You are all amazing. Thank you so much. It really makes me happy to see people doing that and to support CHEO. CHEO is a religion in Ottawa. People really take supporting that institution seriously, and CHEO has been valuable to me as well. I had a really severe bike accident when I was a young kid. It's kind of why I have chronic stiffness in my neck now. And CHEO was amazing to me, and I know almost everyone I know in the city who has kids has used them at some point or another, and really cherishes that institution. So thank you everyone for doing that. It has really been amazing, and I know we can raise the remaining $132 this week to do the second stretch goal. It's not much money. I know it can be done, so I'm going to be working that real hard this year. And thank you again, everybody. It really means a lot. And the last two big shout outs I want to give is, this is also for Stittsville. I want to give a huge shout out to Big D's Doghouse and Witch's Cauldron. These two guys, these are amazing people. So they agreed to do something different. The Witch's Cauldron, instead of putting a change jar out, because they actually collect tips and coins for their staff, and they didn't want to cannibalize that, which I fully appreciate. What they agreed to do instead is they said that any tips they got the day of the event, so during the Extra Life Day, they would donate in full to me, including tips from their credit and debit machine, not just cash. And they totally did that, and we raised well over $100 from them, which was amazing. That's for one afternoon's tips, and yeah, that's amazing of them. They also stepped up in the past for Extra Life. In my past year, they donated a bunch of money, and I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are amazing. They are a fantastic place that everyone should go to. If you live in Ottawa, I don't care if you live in Stittsville, the food they make is worth the trek for. So I would definitely suggest you do that. And the next one is Big D's Doghouse, who is another food truck. He actually used to be headquartered right at the end of my street, but he lost his space there, and he's kind of mobile now. But he was downtown this week at a festival called Poutine Fest, which is a thing that actually exists in Ottawa, and doing stuff there. And apparently he does so much business there every year that he thought he could raise an absolute boatload of money. He agreed to donate 50 cents from everything he sold to, he was going to split it between three causes, me and I think one was the food bank, and I don't remember the other one, I'm sorry. He estimated he was going to be able to raise $300 for each one, which I was just like, geez, really? Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, as many of you know, Ottawa had a rather tragic event happen this past week. I did a little tribute to this at the start of my stream. Unfortunately, a crazy person went on a bit of a rampage downtown, and sadly, Corporal Nathan Cirillo from the Canadian Armed Forces was shot and killed. And this person managed to get into the Parliament buildings, and there was a huge lockdown and a bunch of panic in the city. And I emailed Big D the night before Extra Life just to see what was going on, and he basically said, yeah. He's like, because the Poutine Fest runs on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and he said the first day was not good. He said that the event had not been going as well as he thought because a lot of people were staying away because it was downtown, and the city was still very raw. The city's still raw and hurting from what happened last week. And he said maybe stuff will pick up on the weekend because, like, a lot of public servants, this is a big government town here, so a lot of public servants in that probably took the Friday off. So he was hoping that people would pour into downtown on the weekend. I don't know what happened there. I haven't talked to him yet, but he committed. He said, you know what, though? I told you guys I could raise $300 for you, and you're getting it regardless. He said, even if I don't do the business to generate $300 for each of your charities, I'm giving you that. And I actually choked up a little bit when I read that. That guy, Dennis, who runs Big D, is such a good dude. He is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and he really believes in helping charity. And yeah, I still kind of don't know what to say to him. Just thank you so much, dude. You are an amazing guy, and I really hope that Ottawa stepped up and flooded downtown this weekend, and that you got all the business that you needed and then some, because you deserve it. You make amazing product, and you're just a really good guy, and I can't thank him enough for that. That he agreed to do that is incredible, and it was really moving to me. So thank you to everybody who made this what it is this year. And I really enjoyed it. And you know what? The event, a lot of people were concerned that the take for Extra Life as a whole this year wouldn't be as good as last year, because it's been a rough year in the world in general. And I'm very happy to say that, according to them, as of the end of the Saturday, the previous year, they raised $4 million as of the end of the day on the Saturday. And that was a record, like an epic record. And as of the end of the Saturday, not even including the rest of the year where people can donate, this year, as of the end of that Saturday, they're already at 5.1 million. You know what? This thing is mainstream now. This has hit critical mass. This is a big friggin' deal. And that just is amazing. They totally killed last year. And I'm so happy to see that. To think what this raised in the first year I did it, I think it was barely $1 million. And that they're up to 5 already is just mind-blowing. And it's a great event. I love doing it. I take a lot of pride in it, and I can't wait to do it next year. I'm absolutely going to. And the Outlast stream is going to be hell for me, but it's going to be fun for you guys, and that's why we're in this. So come watch, and please donate if you can to help get to the $1,500 goal this week. That will be incredible. And thank you to everybody. You are all amazing, amazing people. It's really been something, and I know Chio appreciates it, and the community appreciates it. So, anyway, that's my long ramble about that. I said I was going to front load all the good at the beginning. I don't actually have many criticisms this year, but this wouldn't be a proper postmortem if I didn't talk about that. So if you're not interested in that, I would stop now. But I don't have a lot of really bad things to say. It's more just disappointment in a few things. As usual, Twitch didn't really do as good a job as I think they could have to promote the event, considering that they were an official partner of Extra Life. I have a little pro tip for anybody who's watching this who's going to do this in the future. They actually have, when you're setting your channel name and such, you can pick the game you're playing. And in last year and this year, they actually have a game name called Extra Life. And the idea with that is that's supposed to aggregate you into a big list of Extra Life participants to make it easy to find people who are doing the charity streams. Don't do that. Because they don't promote it enough. I mean, Twitch, I don't like Twitch. I never have, but I use it because it's what everybody uses. And sadly, that's still the case. I don't think it's a very good service. But they didn't promote it very well this year. Do not use the Extra Life game name. Continue to just change your stream title as you go to the actual games you're playing. Because I can guarantee you that's going to get you more viewers. You know, I don't have a popular channel, so I don't have a lot of views to begin with, but when I was changing the game name, and especially when I started playing newly released stuff like Bayonetta 2 and Forza and things like that, I got a lot more viewers from doing that. If you just put Extra Life, because people on Twitch often search for streams of games they want to know about, and when you call yourself Extra Life, they can't do that because you don't show up that way. But when I started playing Bayonetta 2 and changed the game name, my views went up substantially, almost immediately. And it's worth doing that. I think you'll get more viewers that way, and use software that lets you put a title in the corner that says, hey, I'm doing this for Extra Life, and here's where you can go to donate. You'll do better that way. I guarantee it. Twitch just doesn't do a good enough job promoting the Extra Life game name, in my opinion. So, but there's ways around that, which is nice. So that's what I would recommend. And as usual, I hope Twitch's recent buyout by Amazon makes them get their act together, but I'm not confident. So that went pretty well. I'm actually very pleased with my capture setup, how it handled. The fact that I never had a stream crash or anything else is pretty amazing. I had some issues with my AverMedia Extreme Cap U3, which I have actually reviewed on this channel, mostly relating to the PS3 stuff. I don't think it's actually the box's fault. The PS3 uses DRM on HDMI, and I use a splitter that strips that out. But the way it strips it out, I think, causes it to interact a little weirdly with the AverMedia. So I had to do some setting stuff on the fly, because when I tried to play Infamous, the stream went black. But I managed to fix it. Like I said, not really the capture device's fault. And you don't have this issue on PS4. And as the PS3 continues to fade away, I think that'll go away. So that was that was a little interesting. My chat was very good. I didn't have any miscreants, which I've had in the past during during Extra Life and things like that. That was really cool. A couple of people had moderator power in my chat, but they never had to exercise it, which is very cool. The only real thing I have to say, and it's not really a criticism, it's a disappointment, is that were it not for those amazing retail partners I shouted out a little while ago, my take this year would have been abysmal. Compared to previous years. I mean, ultimately, yeah, if I can raise $1, that's $1 more than has ever been raised that would have been raised otherwise. So I do think that's important. But I try to raise a lot because this is sort of the main fundraising thing I do. And a lot of people did not step up this year who previously did in the past. Those retail partners are the only reason I'm playing Outlast. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be near it. And I've heard that sentiment from a lot of people who were on the team that I was on this year from Gamers with Jobs, that everything was down across the board. And people are trying to figure out why. I think there's a few reasons for it. I think... I know there's been a lot of bad stuff happening in the world this year. Things that need money. Ebola is happening. Crisis in multiple countries is happening. And my girlfriend works for a charity, actually, in their finance department. And she's told me that people tend to, when there's big deals happening in the world, people will donate their money to things like the Red Cross because it seems like a more immediate thing. And that's understandable. Absolutely. CHIO gets a lot of money raised for it either way. So if people go, should I support this guy playing video games for 24 hours or should I support the Red Cross? I can't blame you if you look at it and go, yeah, the Red Cross makes more sense. So that was part of it. But a lot of places from some communities and things that I follow, we didn't see a lot from this year. Gamers with Jobs, a few people from that community stepped up the day of and donated some stuff, and those people are amazing. A lot of them hung out in my stream too, in my chat. But we had multiple front page articles on Gamers with Jobs about Extra Life this year that got almost no comments. And very, very few people donated any money this year or even spread awareness. Like if you don't have a lot of money, that's understandable. Times are tough right now. That whole thing kind of happens. But there was a lot of people from that site who I know could have afforded even to put $5 into somebody's campaign, not mine, anybody's on the team, and didn't. Or even if you don't have $5, like just to retweet somebody from the team saying, hey, help us raise money, or putting something out there on social media saying, hey, this great community that I'm a part of is trying to raise money to help sick kids. Can anybody step up? Nobody did that. But you wouldn't believe how many tweets and posts I saw that day of people continuing to bitch about Gamergate. And I'm not here to talk about Gamergate. I posted something on the blog about that before, and I know that's still an ongoing issue, but it's been going on for 2 months, and it would have killed people to, even in between all their continuing to complain and snark about Gamergate, to post something saying, hey, look, here's a group of gamers who are doing incredible good, who are doing nothing but good. Maybe we should go help them out instead of just bitching about people being trolls on the internet again. I don't know. That was really, really disappointing, and that hurt. It really did, and I don't know. I don't know about that. People are, people are free to say and put their money wherever they want. I understand that. I'm never going to say otherwise, but it seems to me a real problem when people are spending so much time and energy, in putting, contributing to basically slacktivism with regards to calling out a group of people who are doing something that they don't agree with, but can't find a couple of minutes to go, hey, look, not all gamers are bad people. And that's the image that the gaming community is fighting right now. Instead, you can point to something obvious and say, this is not gamers being bad people. This is gamers doing some incredible good for the world. And they just ignore that. Kind of makes you wonder where some of the priorities of these people lie, doesn't it? But yeah, that was disappointing. And well, I've said before that Gamergate needs to die off so that people can get their heads and start talking about something else. And I still hope that happens, because it's now polluting everything. And I think other things are suffering as a result of it. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but that's for another time. So that's disappointing. And there's even a few people in Gamers with Jobs who said, I'm really surprised that nobody stepped up this year. And I'm like, yeah, well, that is a real shame. Maybe some people should do some introspection on that and help figure that out. So yeah, that was a bummer. But you know what? Those are the only things I have for this year. Overall, the event has been running better and better and more smoothly every year they've done it. And they've really got their act together. The organization as a whole really has its act together organizationally, and it's really cool to see that. So, and you know what? Regardless of the reasons why, I still did really well this year, fundraising-wise, and I'm convinced we can raise the remaining money this week. And if we can, then I'll have eclipsed last year, and that's an improvement, and I'm going to keep working on it. I don't care in the future if I only raise $1. I'm going to keep doing this because I love it, and it does a great thing, and it, like I said, it's a way to show gamers doing good, and that's important now more than ever. So it was a good time, and it's definitely a big thing. So yeah, it was cool. And once again, thank you to everyone who has helped out, both in terms of money and just in terms of moral support. You've been really good, and I can't wait to do this again. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. As usual, if you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to the video and the channel if you can. It helps me out a great deal. And I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more coming this week. I'm hoping to dedicate a good amount of time to video creation this week. So the Startopia series is going to get back on track, and I'm hoping to do a few retro flashbacks maybe this week. So we will see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time, and I'll see you next year again for Extra Life. Take it easy, guys.